Welcome children. Hope everyone is practicing for NEET JEE exam properly. So today's first problem. A block of mass M moving on a frictionless horizontal surface. So here a block is having a mass M. So it is moving on a frictionless horizontal surface and this block collides with a spring constant K. So this block is moving in a horizontal frictionless surface and this block collides with a spring having spring constant K. Then, so at that time what happens? This spring is compressed to a length of how much? L. So this spring compresses by a length capital L. Then what is the maximum momentum of the block after collision? So after collision, what is the maximum momentum of this block? That we have to find out. So this block is actually moving on a frictionless horizontal surface. So whenever this block is moving, so all the moving objects are having which energy? Kinetic energy. So when this block is moving, it is having kinetic energy. Then this moving block then collides with which one? The spring. So after collision, what happens? Now this spring is compressed. So due to compression, there may be elastic potential energy. So initially when this block is moving, it is having kinetic energy and now that kinetic energy is converted to which one? Potential energy. Which potential energy? Elastic potential energy, because now the spring is compressed, length is decreasing. So whenever the shape of a body changes, the corresponding energy is called as which one? Elastic potential energy. So initially this block is having kinetic energy and that kinetic energy is now converted to which one? Potential energy. Okay. So now, so this is conservation of energy. That means when the block is moving, it is having kinetic energy and that kinetic energy is now converted to which one? Potential energy of the spring. So initially what is the kinetic energy of the block? Mass of the block is M and suppose this block is moving with a velocity V. So what may be the kinetic energy? So kinetic energy of block equals, formula is half into M is the mass and V is the velocity, means half mv square. So this half mv square is the kinetic energy of the block. That is when this block is moving on the horizontal frictionless surface, it is having which energy? Kinetic energy given by this formula. Now when this block collides with the spring, what happened to the spring? The spring is compressed, okay, to a length how much? L. That means there may be elastic potential energy. Okay. So elastic potential energy of the spring. Elastic potential energy of the spring. So what is the formula? Half into spring constant K, half into K into extension or compression square. Okay. So here what is the extension or compression? Here it is compression only. The spring is compressed to a length how much? L. That means half K into L square. So this is the elastic potential energy of the spring. So according to law of conservation of energy, now what happens? This kinetic energy is converted to which one? Potential energy. So we can equate these two. So we can write as half mv square equals half into K into L square. Okay. Now what they are asking, we have to find the maximum momentum of the block after collision. So we have to find the momentum. So momentum formula we know, mass into velocity. So momentum P equals mass into velocity. So we have to find which one now? Velocity we have to find out. So this half and half will cancel. Then remaining we have mv square equals K into L square. So from this we have to find out which one? V square. Velocity square equals K L square by M. Or from this what we need? Velocity V. So take the square root. So V equals a root of K L square by M. So this is the velocity now. Then what we have to find out? Maximum momentum of the block of the spring after collision. So maximum momentum P maximum equals mass into capital M, mass into velocity. That means M into, what is the velocity here? Root of K L square by M. Okay. Now this is M means we can write as root M into root M. So instead of M, we can write as root M into root M into remaining we have root K L square by M. So one root term and one root term cancel. Remaining we have, what is the final answer? Root of m into k into L square. So this is the maximum momentum of the block after collision. So after collision, the momentum of the block is, maximum momentum is root of mk into L square. Okay, so what is the option? So we have options are given here. So in this, the correct option is which one? First one. Okay. Now, in some questions, in some other way also we can easily find the answer. So in this question itself, there is another one easier method. That means here they are asking to find momentum. Okay. So momentum, we know the dimension. So what is the dimension of momentum? So they are asking us to find maximum momentum. So that means what we have to find out is which one? Momentum only. So momentum, what is the dimension? Momentum equals mass into velocity. That means m L t raised to minus 1. So this is the dimension of momentum. That means the answer should also have the dimension of which one? Momentum. Okay, because we need to find momentum. So this answer should also have the dimension of momentum. So we can check one by one. So first one we can check. A. First option, it is given as root of m k L square. Okay, that is equivalent to, but here what is k? K is the force constant. Okay, so force constant means the formula is force per unit length. Force per unit length. That means force, what is the dimension? ml t raised to minus 2 divided by L. That means the dimension of k is how much? M, L cancel, m t raised to minus 2. So this dimension of k is how much? M t raised to minus 2. So now I have to find out which one dimension of this? Root m k L square. That means root of m, mass dimension, mass only. Then k, what is the dimension? M t raised to minus 2 into L. L means length only. So dimension is L square itself. That is equivalent to root of m into m becomes m square. Then L square. This term L square. Then remaining t raised to minus 2. And this comes inside the root. So when we are taking out of the root, we have to take the square root. That means we will be getting m L t raised to minus 1. So this answer, this first answer, first option is having the same dimension of which one? Momentum. So this answer is correct. But we can check the other answers also. But this easy method is not possible in all the problems. In some problems only we can choose like this. So instead of doing all these things, that is how to find answer and all. So instead of that one, simply we can find the dimensions of the options given here. Okay? And whichever is the correct answer, we can correct dimension, we can choose that one. Okay. Similarly, we can check the second one now. Second one is given as B. Second one, k L square by 2m. We can check the dimension of this one. Equals k, what is the dimension? M t raised to minus 2. Then L length only, so L square divided by 2, it is constant, and then remaining m. Here, so m cancel. Remaining we are having L square t raised to minus 2. So this is not the dimension of which one? Momentum. So this is not the correct answer. Now we can check the third one also. See. Third one we have m L square by k. So m dimension mass itself m. Okay. L square means L square itself divided by k. What is the dimension? M t raised to minus 2. So it can cancel. So remaining we have L square into, this one I have taken the numerator, so it becomes t square. So this is also not the dimension of which one? Momentum. So this is also not the correct option. The last one, it is given as 0. So 0 is also not the correct option because they are asking to find which one? Maximum momentum. So momentum dimension is how much? So m L t raised to minus 1. So you can check with the options. So whatever given in the options, you can check the dimension of these options with the quantity we have to find out. So if the dimension is correct, means that may be the correct answer. But suppose if all the 4 options are having same dimension of momentum, means that is not possible. So this is one of the method to find, it's easy method to find the answer. Second problem, 100 gram of liquid liquid A at 100 degrees Celsius, that means liquid A is at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, is added to 50 gram of liquid B at 75 degrees Celsius. So liquid B is at 75 degrees Celsius and liquid A is at 100 degrees Celsius. So when we are mixing both these liquids, the mixture temperature is how much? 90 degrees Celsius. So what will be the temperature of mixture if 100 gram of liquid A at 100 degrees Celsius is added with 50 gram of liquid B at 50 degrees Celsius. So here there are two cases. So from the first case we have to get one equation. So from this one we will be getting one equation, and using that equation we have to find the temperature of mixture in the case of which one? The second case. Okay. So here liquid A is at higher temperature because it is at 100 degree Celsius and liquid B is at a lower temperature 75 degree Celsius. Normally whenever we are mixing two different temperature liquids, what will happen? The hot liquid will be transferring heat to the cold liquid. So here liquid A will be transferring heat energy to which one? To liquid B. So the heat is losing by which one? Liquid A, and this heat is gained by which one? Liquid B. And this heat lost by liquid A must be equal to heat gained by which one? Liquid B. So we can write as heat lost by liquid A, because this A is the hot body. So hot objects will be losing heat energy, is equal to which one? Heat gained by liquid B. Okay. So whenever we are mixing two liquids, the hot liquid will be transferring heat to which one? This cold liquid, and this heat lost by this hot object must be equal to which one? Heat gained by the cold object. And we have one formula for this heat lost. This heat lost or heat gained by a body, that is taken as Q, is proportional to mainly two factors. First one is mass of the liquid, as well as this heat energy is proportional to which one? Change in temperature of the liquid. Okay, so this quantity of heat gained or lost by a liquid is proportional to mainly two factors. First one is mass of the liquid and second one is change in temperature of the liquid. And together we can write as Q proportional to M into delta T, and we can remove this proportional sign and we can write as Q equals M into S into delta T. So here S is a constant. Okay, so we are removing this proportional sign by multiplying by a constant S, and this constant S is called as which one? Specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity. Heat capacity. So this quantity of heat gained by a liquid and quantity of heat lost by a liquid, so both are equally. So whatever heat is lost by a hot body must be equal to which one? The heat gained by the cold body, and that too we can equate, and we have the formula Q equals ms into delta T. Here S is called as which one? Specific heat capacity. So now we can substitute for this one. Okay, we have heat lost by liquid A, heat lost by liquid A equals heat gained by liquid B. So heat lost by liquid A is equal to which one? Heat gained by liquid B. And already we know the formula for heat. What is the formula? M into S into delta T. So for liquid A, how will you write? Ma into mass of liquid A into specific heat capacity of liquid A into delta T, change in temperature of liquid A. That is equivalent to which one? Heat gained by liquid B. That means for liquid B, how will you write? MB, mass of liquid B into SA, specific SB, specific capacity of liquid B into delta TB, change in temperature of liquid B. That means MA into SA into change in temperature of liquid A. So initially the liquid A is having temperature of how much? 100 minus what is the mixture temperature it is given. First case mixture temperature is how much? 90. So 100 minus 90 equals MB, mass of liquid B into SB into. So here initially liquid B is having less temperature compared to which one? Liquid A, and this finally it is having a mixture temperature of how much? 90. This 90 we have to write first because that is a higher temperature, final temperature, minus which one? What is the initial temperature of liquid B? 75. So we are taking only the difference. That means from higher value to lower value. So this 90 minus 75. And this mass of liquidate is given there as 100 grams. So instead of MA we can write as 100 into SA into here 100 minus 90 is 10 equals here mass of B, liquid B is given as 50. So 50 into SB into 90 minus 75 is 50. Okay. Now we can cancel the terms, equal terms and all we can cancel. So here 1 0, here 1 0 will cancel, and here 1 10 and here 1 5 cancel. So here becomes 2. Okay. Then we are having this 10 and here 15. So 2 5s are 10 and 3 5s are 15. So now we have 2 into 2 how much? 4 SA equals here 3 into 1 3 SB. So take it as equation number 1. So from the first case we got one equation, and using this equation we have to substitute for which one? The second case. So now we are going for the second case. Case 2. In second case, mass of liquid A is same only 100 gram and mass of liquid B is 50 grams, same thing. But this temperature, this liquid A is having temperature of 100 degrees Celsius and this liquid B is at a temperature of how much? 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, and we have to find which one? The mixture temperature. So mixture temperature we have to find out. Mixture temperature that we don't know, take it as capital T. This one we have to find out. Okay, and the same formula we are substituting. Heat lost by A equals heat gained by P. That means formula is same only. MA into SA into change in temperature of liquid A equals MB into SB into change in temperature of liquid B. Okay, and here mass of liquid A is same only 100 into SA into change in temperature of liquid A. So initially the temperature is how much? 100 minus the mixture temperature we don't know. So we have to write here as T. The second case mixture temperature only we have to find out. Equals mass of liquid B is taken as 50. So 50 into SB into change in temperature. That's mixture temperature we don't know because that is the higher temperature for this liquid B. T minus, so what is the initial temperature? It is given as 50. So T minus 50. So we can cancel equal terms and all. So before that, so 100 into this SA we can write in terms of SB. So we have this equation. From equation 1, I am finding which one? SA. So SA equals, how will you find SA from this equation? 3SB divided by 4. Okay. So 3SB divided by 4. Okay. So from equation 1, we got SA equals 3SB divided by 4. So I am substituting instead of SA, I am writing which one now? 3SB divided by 4. Okay, 3SB divided by 4 into bracket we have 100 minus T equals 50 into SB. I am writing like that itself because we have to make it one single term. So either in SA or in SB. So here I put in SB. Okay, so SB into T minus 50. Okay. Now we can cancel the terms. So here 50 and here 100 2 times. So 2 and again this 2 and this 4 cancelling will be getting 2 here. Okay. So now we can simplify and write. So we have now 3SB and this SB and this SB we can cancel. So remaining we have only 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 into bracket we have 100 minus T. 100 minus T equals right hand side we have only T minus 50. T minus 50. And this 2 we can multiply here. So 3 into 100 minus T equals this 2 I am multiplying here. So 2T minus 2 into 50 is 100. 2T minus 100. So I am removing bracket here. So 300 minus 3T equals 2T minus 100. Okay. And this minus 100 I am taking on the left hand side. So this 300 plus 100 equals, so here we have 2T and this minus 3T I am bringing on the right hand side. So plus 3T. Plus 3T. So that becomes 400 equals 5T. So from this what we have to find out? T we have to find out. So T equals 400 divided by 5, that is equivalent to, you will be getting 80 degree Celsius. So this 80 degree Celsius is the mixture temperature in the case of second one. Third problem, a 27 milliwatt laser beam has a cross-sectional area 10 millimeter square. This milliwatt indicates power. This power of laser beam is given as 27 milliwatt. So this power is given as 27 milliwatt. And this cross-sectional area is given as 10 millimeter square. This area is given as 10 millimeter square. Okay. And we have to find the magnitude of maximum electric field. So we have to find the electric field, magnitude of electric field of this electromagnetic wave. Okay. So this power is given here as well as area is given here. So we can find the intensity of electromagnetic wave. So intensity is given by I equals power by area. So P by A gives intensity of electromagnetic wave, and that is given by, so here 27 milliwatt. So we have to convert into SI unit of power, that is watt. So how will you convert milliwatt into watt? 27 into 10 raised to minus 3 watt. Similarly, area is given millimeter square. So you have to convert into SI unit, that is meter square. That means 10 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter square. So in order to convert millimeter into meter, we have to multiply by 10 raised to minus 3. So millimeter square means 10 raised to minus 3, the whole square, that means 10 raised to minus 6. So intensity, how will you find out? Power divided by area, that means 27 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 10 into 10 raised to minus 6. Okay, that is equivalent to 27 by 10. I am taking 2.7 into here 10 raised to minus 3. This minus 6 here comes means plus 6. So it becomes 10 raised to 3. Okay, so this much, what is a unit of watt per meter square? So this is the power of electromagnetic wave. But we have another one formula for this power of electromagnetic wave in terms of electric field. That is, intensity is given by I equals half into epsilon 0 into C into E square. So here epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space, C is the speed of light in air or vacuum, and E is the electric field. And already we found out the value for which one? Intensity. What is the value? 2.7 into 10 raised to 3. So we can substitute here. So we will be getting 2.7 into 10 raised to 3 equals, so here half into epsilon 0 value is 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 into C value is 3 into 10 raised to 8 into E square we don't know. So we have to find this E square. Okay. So I am cross this 2 I am cross multiplying here. So 2 into 2.7 into 10 raised to 3 equals, so here 2 I cross multiplied. Remaining we have 8.85 into 3 into, so here 10 raised to minus 12 and 10 raised to 8 becomes 10 raised to minus 4. Minus 4 into E square. So from this we have to find which one? E square. So E square equals is 2 into 2.7 into 10 raised to 3, the whole divided by 8.85 into 3 into 10 raised to minus 4. Okay. Now we can simplify. So first of all we can remove the decimals. So removing the decimal. So here 2 into, here I am removing the decimal, I am writing as 27 into 10 raised to 3. Similarly, denominator also 8.85, I am removing the decimal now, 885 into 3 into 10 raised to minus 4. So here after decimal 1 digit, so I am dividing by 10 here. So in order to remove the decimal of 2.7, I am dividing by 10 here. And similarly, in order to remove the decimal here, so here after decimal 2 digits, so I multiply by 100 here. Okay. So now these decimals got over. Now what is the thing? So we have to simplify, cancel the terms and all. So it is equivalent to this 3 and 27. 9 3s are 27. And remaining this 0 and this 0 cancel. So remaining we have 2 into 9 is 18 into here 10 cube, here 110. That means 10 raised to 4. This 10 raised to 4 and denominator we have 1 10 raised to minus 4. This comes in numerator, it becomes 10 raised to 8 now. So we have 10 raised to 8 divided by, Here we have 885. Okay, 885. That is equivalent to, here one 3-digit number, no? So this numerator I am taking one 4-digit number. That means from 10 raised to 8, I am taking one 10 square here. Okay, so we can write as 1800. So one 10 square I have taken here. Remaining we have 10 raised to 6 will be here. Okay, divided by 885. Okay, now when you are dividing 1800 and 885, so divide that one. 1800 divided by 885. Okay, so we are taking 885 into 2 times 1770. That means 2, you will be getting 1770. 0, then here 3. So 30, so we have to put a decimal, and again one more 0 we are taking, then also it will not go. That means 2.0 something will come. Okay, that means nearly this value is how much? 2. Okay, so I am taking only the nearby value. So 2 into 10 raised to 6. Okay, so this is E square. Now what we have to find out? E. Okay, so E equals root of which one? 2 into 10 raised to 6. Okay, that means root 2 nearly, when you are dividing, you will be getting nearly 1.4 something you will be getting. So you will be getting as 1.4 into 10 raised to 3, because root of 10 raised to 6. That means 10 raised to 6. Root means raised to 1 by 2. 6 into 1 by 2 becomes 10 raised to 3. So we are getting 10 raised to 3. That is equivalent to, so 1.4, that is the unit is 1.4 into 10 raised to 3 volt per meter, because it is electric field only we found out. So volt per meter. Okay, so this is the final answer. So we have taken only the approximate value. So nearly 1.4. This 1.4 into 10 raised to 3 volt per meter. Or we can say 1.4 kilovolt per meter. Kilovolt per meter, or we can write as 1.4 volt into 10 raised to 3 volt per meter. So whenever these divisions comes, we can take this approximate value. So 2.0 something will come. So you can take nearly as how much? 2. Means a root of 2 into 10 raised to 6. So you will be getting nearly 1.4 into 10 raised to 3 volt per meter, or 1.4 kilovolt per meter. Fourth problem, a particle A of mass m and charge q. So this particle A is having a mass m and a charge q is accelerated by 50 volt. So it is accelerated by 50 volt. And another one particle B is having a mass 4m and charge q, but accelerated by how much volt? 2500 volt. Okay, and we have to find the ratio of de Broglie wavelength. Okay, that means the de Broglie wavelength formula is lambda equals h by p. P is the momentum, so it can be written as h by mv. So h is the Planck's constant, m is the mass, and v is the velocity. So we have to find the de Broglie wavelength of particle A and particle B, and we have to find the ratio. Okay, lambda A equals h by ma into va, and similarly lambda B equals h by mb into vb. So here Va and this Vb are the velocities of the particles A and B, and Ma and Mb are the mass of the particles, and we have to find lambda A by lambda B, that is equivalent to h by Ma into Va divided by this one. That means we can multiply by the reciprocal. So Mb Vb divided by h. So cancelling h and h. So we are getting lambda A by lambda B equals mb vb divided by ma into va. So take it as equation number 1. So we have the masses, but this velocity we don't know. But since the particles are accelerating in a field, so we can equate half mv square with qv. Since the particles are accelerating in a field, so we can equate half mv square with the qv, and here this small v is the velocity and this capital V is the electric potential. Okay. Now from this we have to find v square. So v square equal to 2qv divided by m. So round this, what is v? So v equals root of 2qv by m. Okay, so now we got the formula for which one? Velocity. So now we can substitute here in lambda a and lambda b. So we can write as lambda a by lambda b equals mb into, instead of vb we can write this one, root of 2 into q into, so this is the accelerating potential of first one, capital B means accelerating potential of which one we are taking? B, particle B, divided by mb. This formula, okay, divided by, again the whole divided by, next ma into root of, instead of va what we can write now? 2q into accelerating potential of which one? Particle A, divided by ma. Okay, now so here root mb is there and here one another one mb. So mb means root mb into root mb. So one root mb cancel, remaining we will be getting root of here one mb. Then remaining we have 2q into vb divided by, here also this ma can be written as root ma into root ma. So one root ma cancel, remaining one more root ma is there, into 2q into va. Okay, now we can cancel the equal terms. This root 2q and this root 2q will be cancelling, remaining we have a root of, okay, so this mb means how much? 4m I think. This mb is 4m divided by root 4m divided by here root of ma means simply m. Okay, m, and here what is bb, potential of second particle B is given as 2500 divided by here what is the potential of the first particle is given by 50. Okay, that is equivalent to, here also root m and root m will cancel, remaining we have root 4 is how much? 2 into root of 2500 is 5 5s are 25, that means 50. Okay, so 50 divided by here one root 50 will come. Okay, that is equivalent to 2 into, so here 50 means root 50 into root 50. So one root 50 and one root 50 cancel, remaining 2 into root 50 will come. That when we are simplifying we will be getting nearly 14.14. Okay, so root 49 is we know 7. Okay, so that means suppose if we are taking this as root 49 means 2 into 7 will come, that means 14. Okay, so completely we are taking root 50 means becomes 14.14. If you are writing as 14 also no problem, because 50 is near to which one? Only 49. So 49 root is 7. So 2 into 7 is 14. So if you are taking root 50 itself means it may be nearly 14.14. So this is the ratio of which one? Lambda A to lambda B. Fifth problem. A particle executes a simple harmonic motion with amplitude of 5 cm. Okay, so amplitude is given as 5 cm. And when the particle is at 4 cm, that means when the displacement is 4. This is not amplitude. Amplitude is given as 5. Amplitude is the maximum displacement. And when the particle is at 4 cm from main position, that means this is the displacement. Okay, from main position, the magnitude of velocity is equal to its acceleration. So when the particle is at 4 cm, the magnitude of velocity and acceleration both are same. Find the periodic time in second. Okay, so we know that the velocity, formula for velocity as well as acceleration we know. So velocity formula, velocity of particle executing simple harmonic motion is given by v equals omega into root of a square minus x square. Okay, similarly what is acceleration formula? A equals minus omega square into x. This minus indicates only the direction. So here they are asking only about the magnitude. So I am not taking this minus here. So A equals minus omega square x. Okay. So we have velocity v equals omega into root of a square minus x square. And similarly in acceleration A equal to omega square into x. Then they are saying that when the particle is at 4 cm, that means when x is equal to how much? 4 cm, and amplitude already it is given how much? A equals 5 cm. So when x equals 4 cm, this velocity and acceleration both are same. Okay, so we can equate these two formulas now. So we can write as omega into root of a square minus x square is now equal to which one? Omega square into x. Okay, so when the displacement is 4 centimeter, both this velocity and acceleration are same. So now I am squaring both sides. So omega square into this root will go. Okay, so a square minus x square equals omega raised to 4. I am squaring here also into x square. Okay, so here 1 omega square and here 1 omega square. So remaining you will be getting one more omega square here. So here we have a square minus x square equals omega square into x square. So what is a here? Already we have the amplitude. So amplitude we can take it as, no, amplitude is here only. Amplitude is 5. So 5 square minus, so what is displacement? 4. So 4 square equals omega square into, what is again x square? 4 square. Okay, that means 5 square is 25 minus 4 square is 16 equals here 4 square is 16 into omega square. So here 25 minus 16 is 9. So 9 equals 16 omega square, and omega square equal to 9 by 16. Or how will you find omega? Omega equals root of 9 by 16. Root 9 is how much? 3 divided by root 16 is how much? 4. Okay. So by equating these two, we got the value for which one? Omega. So now what they are asking, we have to find the periodic time. Okay, that means time period. So time period T equals, what is the formula? 2 pi by omega. That means 2 pi divided by, what is omega here? 3 by 4. That means this 4 will be coming in the numerator. So it becomes 8 pi by 3. So this is the time period when the displacement is how much? 4 centimeter. So at that time what happens? This velocity is equal to which one? This acceleration.